Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Cindy and I'm a current nursing student. I post videos on everything nursing related, beauty, and lifestyle. If you like these type of videos, then be sure to give me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. So in today's video, we have a very exciting one. It's going to be about my first day of OB clinicals and my experience. So if you guys would like to know more, then please keep watching. So I'll be explaining to you guys how my day went, what I did, what I saw, and just my overall experience. So I had OB clinicals this past Thursday. I'm currently filming this on Saturday just so like everything's fresh so I can explain to you guys my experience. Our clinicals, at least my clinicals, they're 7-hour shifts. We start at 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. but the hospital that I do clinicals at is an hour away. So the commute is an hour there, a little longer on the way back, I think. So it's really like a 14-15 hour day. It's a pretty long day. I was exhausted when I came home. So we get to the facility and then we wait in the lobby because my instructor is upstairs seeing what is going on the floors, what nurses are there, what's scheduled. The way that the floor is divided is that we have labor and delivery, then we have NICU, which is the newborns, the neonatal intensive care unit, and then we have postpartum, where after moms give birth, they go there to further recover. We're waiting at the lobby and then she comes back down with what's available, what's scheduled, who's gonna go where and whatnot. So I ended up being assigned to labor and delivery that day, and I was going to be in the 10 a.m. C-section, which I was so excited about. Alright, 7 a.m. we then walked to the units, and then people who were on labor and delivery, we had to change out of our uniform to scrubs, just in case we had to go to the OR, and so we don't have to like change. So we change and then I meet my nurse. My nurse is really nice. She's been doing this for a very, very long time, so she had a wealth of knowledge. So my patient was scheduled for a 10 a.m. C-section, but before that my nurse had to prepare stuff before her arrival, like paperwork and just reading over her charts and getting everything ready, like medications. And then the patient arrived shortly after, maybe around like, I don't know, like 8:30, 9 o'clock. So then we get the patient ready for that. We do all the admission assessments. The doctors come in and talk to her. My nurse had to put in 2 IVs and just like overall prepare and prep mom and dad for the C-section. So then 10 a.m. ish arrives, so we walk the patient to the OR room and then start prepping the patient there. We wait for anesthesia, so anesthesia comes in and then gives mom anesthesia. And then after that, the surgery just like started. The time in, time out stuff. The circulating nurse was counting all the instruments throughout the operation. And then like, I don't know, like in the environment, it's my first time being in the operating room that I wasn't a patient, so I was like in a brand new environment. It was really bright and all these equipments that like I didn't know what they were, how they worked. It was just like a very foreign environment to me, but I was so excited. And the doctors and the nurses were so nice to me. I thought I was gonna be like, like when you're in the way or like you think you're a nuisance. I was like none of that. the nurse really wanted me to get up close so I can see a great view, which I did. Mom's legs were here and I was at the bottom, and I was able to see everything from the first cut to the next cut and all the other cuts. I felt like I was waiting there for a really long time. After the first incision, I was like, oh, it's about to come out, baby's about to come out. But no, I felt like I was waiting there for a long time. My heart was beating a little bit. But shortly after the baby came out, and then after baby came out, they moved baby to this crib where the pediatrician, separate from who was working on mom, was doing his newborn assessment and like stuff like that, along with the nurse. At the same time, my patient was getting another procedure done. I think she was getting tubal ligation, which is where you get your tubes tied. And I wasn't really focusing on that. I was more so focusing on baby, because one of my assignments is to do a newborn assessment. So I was focusing on that. And I was just like blown away of how like smooth everything went, and how like everyone knew their roles and everyone communicated really well. After the pediatrician and the nurse finished doing their assessment, the nurse then moved baby to mom, where she initiated breastfeeding, which I found phenomenal. Because you really think about it, baby is in the womb in this warm, calm, soothing, dark environment, listening to mom's heartbeat. But then after mom gives birth, baby's just like in a brand new environment. It's so bright, all these noises, all these different faces. Baby no longer hears mom and the heartbeat. So I feel like being able to initiate that touch to touch is really important to like soothe and relax baby. And the breastfeeding I love too. And then from that time, they were still working on mom's procedure. Dad was taking pictures. It was like a beautiful bonding moment. I was able to see it really up close. And the procedure itself, I felt like was really short. I feel like it was less than an hour, less than 50 minutes, the whole thing. After the C-section, we then moved the patient to the recovery room, where she further recovered for a couple more hours. After that, she was then sent to postpartum for further recovery. And then my nurse had another patient that was going to give birth to later that afternoon. So it was really nice seeing how different labor and delivery is compared to the different units that I've been on. It's definitely still hard work, but it's more so, I don't know how to explain it. It's just like a different specialization, and I'm like truly amazed of how great everything was. I also saw other things too. The residents were great. It was really like teaching oriented, which I love. They were very welcoming. One of the doctors let me sit in, along with the patient's permission, her sonogram, and she was showing me like the landmarks and what she was measuring and what she was about to measure. So just walking me through the whole thing, which was really nice. And then I also saw how they measure how dilated you are, and I just like saw a whole bunch of things that I never saw before. And then during my downtime, when my nurse was on her lunch break, I peeked in to see what was at the NICU. And while I was on the clinical experience, I did see a lot of sad things. One of them being that one of the babies was going through withdrawal, which was really sad. But obviously, like, I'm not there to judge. Nurses are not there to judge. We're here to help. We're here to aid in the recovery and to make everything go as smooth as possible. I also saw other sad things like a fetal demise, and that was really sad. But after coming out this clinical, you feel very blessed to be in the profession that you are, really helping people in their vulnerable times, and just like being overall like grateful that I'm here and that I'm learning, and that one day I will be in the position to really be hands-on to help these patients. So I don't know, after walking out that clinical, I felt like really blessed to be where I was at. We then did post-conference where it was how my classmates' day went. It was nice to see the comparison of what it was like in labor and delivery, what was like in NICU, what was it like in postpartum. So you really get to see like the difference of the roles of the nurses. And then we had to go through an assignment. We had an assignment due that day, so we went over that. It was basically a medication assignment, and it's nice doing that because yes, you can learn all these medications in pharm and lecture, and then like that's that. But I feel like when you see it in practice, when you see it in the charts, when you hear it, when you have it explained to you, then that's when it clicks. That's when it really like stays in there, and you're like, oh yeah, like I learned that, yeah, I remember that. Oh, and then like the next time, like you know it. So I really like that aspect of it too. My instructor is great. She's been doing it for a really long time. The nurse I was with was doing it a really long time too. And I overall had a really positive experience. I honestly didn't even think I was going to see a birth so early, but I'm thankful that I did. And I can't wait to see what it's like to be on the other units. Alright guys, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for listening to me talk about my experience of my first day of OB clinicals. And yeah, so I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye!